Boa.
In tonight's sports world, could Britain's Dennis Andries be on his way back to another world title? It's downhill all the way with the women's skiers in Canada. And from the Houston Astrodome, the TNT Track Nationals with Bigfoot and his mates. Yes, hello again. The big trucks are back again. Later in the programme, surely news to gladden the heart of Emmeline Hughes. Are you gladdened by this news?
I'm so pleased, you can't believe it.
We'll talk more about that later. The big talking point, arguably the only major talking point in sport at the moment, was Mike Tyson. Now,
Yep.
Did he lose fair and square, or did he not?
Well, I look at it this way. He's been beaten in the World Championship. He's been knocked out, and his count was more than 10. Now, if we start saying, hey, hold on, we're going to have video evidence that Buster Douglas was down for more than 10 in round 8, then are we going to go back to Football League games, for instance, and say, hey, hold on, the referee made a wrong decision there, because if you did that in Football League games, you'd never get the game started, because referees make 99 out of 100 wrong anyway.
I don't think we'll talk about that. The point I was going to make is that, I mean, surely so often the referee in a boxing match is pushing the other fighter back to his corner saying, you go back, then he goes to the fighter. Now, how many seconds have elapsed
Yes,
there?
correct. I mean, you often see, as you say, in fights, where when a fighter goes down, the other fighter's so pleased with himself, he's stood over looking at him, isn't he? You know, and he's going, I've got you, pal, you're in trouble. And then he's going, come on, back you go, back you go. And there's 5 or 6 seconds wasted there.
I mean, the way it's going at the moment, we could start arguing that Billy Walker and Joe Budner won fights, couldn't we?
No, I'm not sure about that.
Though all the people have recognised that he is still in control, still the man in charge, there's going to be a rematch. I mean, it's going to be one hell of a fight.
There is, yeah. There's going to be a rematch, and it's on June the 18th. More importantly, Don King has recognised that Buster Douglas is now champ. Right. Because I wouldn't be too sure about Don. I think he could bend a few heels.
It's going to be a great fight, though.
It's going to be a super fight.
Douglas is going to be hyped up, isn't he? I mean,
it was a top-class fight. And I genuinely believe that Buster Douglas deserved to win the fight because he took the sting out of Tyson. Nobody's done that. As yet, nobody had done that. But he let him punch himself out, and he deservedly won it, and he didn't have to batter him in the last round, didn't he?
Yes, he did, didn't he?
Gee, did he catch him with about 4 beauties.
All these weeks that we've said, you know, no one can hit that guy, no one will put him down.
Nobody can beat him. I know when I said that last week, I said, it's a foregone conclusion, so that added a few pounds to Buster Douglas'.
It's just nice to know you're human, isn't it? That even you can be wrong.
Well, I'm not too sure about that.
Well, what better place to begin than with international boxing, this time from Detroit, where Britain's former world light heavyweight champion, Dennis Andries, is on the road to another world title. Andries lost his WBC title to the Australian Jeff Harding last year, and the Briton is anxious to set up a return. But first, he has to get past the Brazilian, Clarismundo Silva, who, at 29, is 8 years younger than Andries. Andries, of course, now fights out of the famous Kronk Gym in Detroit. The fight then for the WBC light heavyweight Continental belt, Andries versus Silva.
I mean, Dennis Andries got great credentials. He's a very compact, tight fighter. He's very well schooled, good in the techniques, good in specifics. Clarismundo Silva, a little bit less schooled in the fundamentals, but very powerful. He will not back up. He's been KO'd early 3 times in his career, and in his big fights against Juan Roldan and Jose Flores, he was bombed early and knocked out. Now, if he's over that kind of slow start thing, we might see this one go into the 8th, 9th round with some big power punches being thrown.
Bobby Watson has the fight. He's our referee. Andries and Silva. Andries in the gold trunks of the Kronk Gymnasium.
Silva, very aggressive start now.
Miss a day of training. Take a look.
We're talking hard. thing
Silva forcing the fight a little.
Right, the one thing you see early, George, about Silva is the footwork is really not there. He's a little stiff. He's not real agile or mobile. Doesn't look like the athletic moves, but he's certainly powerful in the upper body. That's a good right hand behind the left glove there by Silva.
Boy, they are leaning on each other. That'll tire you out. This is scheduled for 12 rounds for the WBC Continental Americas light heavyweight title. Dennis Andries wants that WBA World Light Heavyweight title back that he lost last May in a 12th round KO to James Hardy. Stung him with a left jab. Silva comes back swinging. Trying to get through the gloves.
There's the footwork problem by Silva. He slipped the left jab, but his feet were out of control, and he had to really catch his balance to get back in a hitting position. That's a lot of the thing where training comes in, where you get into a good gym and you're working a lot. That kind of stuff, you learn that stuff. And, you know, he might not have the same kind of competition in the gym as Dennis Andries does. And, you know, that balance and that footwork comes a little bit more naturally when you're fighting in the gym against some stiff competition.
Opening round. Could go 12. A lot of off-balance fighting, I think, caused, as Jim Brandstetter said, by Silva's footwork difficulties.
Well, he's a little bit off balance, but I think through the round, Andries and Torres are a little bit of a slow starter. And I think through that first round, Silva landed the more telling blows. At least I think they were more on target.
Pick up your step, little short punches. Everything you're doing is like a big galloping shot, and your man is making you both looking clumsy. It's not impressive, but to be in your position.
You're listening to Emmanuel Stewart in Andries' corner.
Short and snappy. You're trying to load up too much with everything. You just work your jab, but don't take a big step to the head. Let the ball, let this come down first before that come down. You're walking on your damn heels instead of allowing the ball in your face.
Work the jab to the head.
Okay. Just pick up your pace too much. Waiting too much.
Well, there's an indication right there about some footwork problems for Dennis Andries.
Not just in the Silva corner. Up on the balls of your feet. You want to see some shorter slashing type punches that Emmanuel Stewart, the two-time light heavyweight champion Dennis Andries. Andries is connected and does again with a good right. He covers up for Silva.
You see the difference when you get into the heavier weight classes and the guys that are more muscle to the upper body, George. The quickness of the hands just isn't there. They're a little bit stiffer than the lighter weights. But there's a heck of a lot more power behind the shots. Yeah. That's why, you know, fighters like Ali and Holmes were so incredible that they were big men, and yet they had that fluidity in their upper body, the ability to use their athletic skills and really fight like middleweights, and yet have the body of the heavyweight.
There may never be another Muhammad Ali. Andries scoring. Silva is not.
Andries really has dictated the pace here in the second round and been the aggressor. And I think that has got Silva more in a defensive stance. His thinking is more defensive. What is Andries going to do to me rather than what can I do to Andries at this point? I think Silva might have been hurt there as Andries came down the middle with a straight right hand. His knees buckled just a tad.
We're in round 2. It's scheduled for 12. Andries, the aggressor, scores with a right. That'll get your attention.
Take a look here, the footwork. See there, right hand, more of a shove from Andries, not a big punch, and yet his footwork, he was off balance, so that the right hand just kind of shoved him off balance and made it look like it was a knockout type deal. There's a good right hand. And Andries didn't follow it up because Silva came back with the left. There you see how he's flat-footed. And when he threw the left hand, his left foot came off the canvas. If you're going to throw the left hand, you can't have somebody be able to hit you and then take your left foot off the canvas. You've got to be leaning forward into that shot.
Nearly 10,000 fans looking on here at the Palace. 9,871. Says promoter Bill Kozerski in here. Andries and Silva. Dennis Andries has been the aggressor, and there's a big-time right. Silva is on his backside and now up. Bobby Watson will get it up to 8 and take a look in his eyes, and here we go again.
Andries doubled up the left jab. He doubled up on the left jab, came right behind it with the right hand. Silva never saw it coming, and he tagged him right on the point of the chin.
Here in round 4. Let's see if Silva can survive.
Well, there's the big right lead right over the left. And Dennis Andries has taken what Emmanuel Stewart said in the corner to heart. He wants him to work the left more. He did, and it's paid off because the right hand has gotten in behind the left and scored big for him in round 4.
Silva fighting back to keep Andries off him. Halfway through round 4. Two chiseled in stone light heavyweights here. Andries lets him have it. Up high with a right.
Same pattern. He doubled up the left jab, bang, bang, and then came right behind it with the overhand right and tagged him again.
He punished him in the clinch.
So you get an idea. Andries just a little too anxious. He's overshooting that right hand.
.30 seconds now left in the round. We'll have some highlights for you from this one when it's over. Well, it was a big Andries round. Round 4 is history here at the Palace, and Clarismundo Silva did survive.
He did survive, but barely. He walked to the wrong corner at the end of that round. I mean, there's some chin on this lad, because he took a couple of big right hands from Andries. One of them put him down, and the one that put him down was the key to it, was the left hand. Watch Andries work the left jab. He'll go bang bang with it twice. Right behind the second one will come the big right. Here it comes. Left jab, right. And the second left hand is right in front of his eyes. He never sees it coming. There's the second one, and the right one is right on the chin. He's looking at the left, and the right one comes right behind it. And that is what has hurt Clarismundo Silva here in round 4, as Andries set it up and tagged him with the overhand right. Later in the round, did the same thing, but didn't get Silva down with it. But that is the pattern in this fight. Andries worked the left jab and looked for the right hand behind it sooner or later.
That was a superb setup. Great analysis, Jim. We're in round 5, and Dennis will try and do it again.
Well, the other beauty about it, if you get the other boxer thinking about the left jab and the right behind it, sometimes they'll forget to defend the left jab, and you can start making that an offensive weapon.
Dennis Andries scores again with a roundhouse right.
Well, he countered that time. This time, he got him looking at the left hook and then came behind it with the right. Instead of the jab, it was the left hook lead, the right hand behind it.
We're in round 5. It's scheduled for 12.
Break. Tell you what, Andries is getting just a little bit in too close. He's almost negating the power of the right hand by coming in behind the left too quickly, and he's overshooting the right hand. If he stays back and then throws the right, I mean, he's going to do some damage.
Fight.
Bobby Watson telling him to fight. They're clinching here near the ropes. Andries again with combinations. And off the break, he scored with a right.
Dennis wants to end it here.
He's measuring Silva in round 5. Everything's rocking him now.
Smart move by Andries, too, going to the body. You've already proved you can hit him in the head, boy. You start working the body. Oh, 2 rights in a row. Silva's got a chin. I mean, he's taking some punishment.
Took a pretty good left hook after the 2 rights. 30 seconds left in round 5. Silva's been staggered here in round 5, but he hasn't gone down. That's the end of the 5th round.
Well, there's no question that Andries is strong. Manuel knows it.
Hey, tell you what, when you're so much stronger than Clarismundo Silva, you're strong.
Hey, I mean, that's saying something right there, because Silva is in great shape, and I think he's had to be in great shape to withstand the kind of punishment that he has taken by Dennis Andries.
We're in the opening moments of round 6.
Well, that Andries jab is starting to get in there, too. Early going wasn't. Now it's starting to make contact.
Well, he'll score up, down, any way he can get it right now. And he can have almost what he wants from Silva. Silva connected with a jab. Got a cheer from his corner. It's been a while.
Hey, Silva's starting to duck down. Look for Andries to feign that left jab and come up underneath with the uppercut. He'll be leaning right down into it. And again, you see him step through the right and he overthrows it. Dennis is trying to get everything on it. He's maybe a little too anxious because he's throwing that right hand and he's stepping right beyond the target.
Bobby Watson will break him up, and they'll go to the center of the ring.
Step through it again, overthrew the right hand. Better round for Silva, though.
Yes. He looks more clear-headed. He was knocked down in round 4, staggered in round 5. We're in the closing seconds now of round 6.
If Dennis has got the uppercut, you got to think about throwing a few of them because Silva, when he gets in tight, is lowering that head. There it is. He lowers the head, but Dennis goes over the top with the left hook. The uppercut is there.
Round 7 underway now at the Palace. Dennis Andries has taken charge of this fight. Silva's been down once in round 4. He took the mandatory 8 count.
Silva, I think, has lost a little bit of power off his punches, too. He's the damage that he suffered in round 4 and 5, I think, has taken a little bit out of the power of his shots, and Andries is really walking through pretty much everything Silva throws.
Round 6 may be a round of some missed opportunities for Andries. Silva unquestionably had a clearer head than he did in the 2 previous rounds. Andries measuring him now near the ropes.
Well, Andries in close, got him with a left hook on the button that hurt him.
Those were short shots, but you're right, they hurt.
Silva now continuing to hold on. He's still not all there.
Swinging in self-defense. Silva trying to keep Andries off him, but that left really bothered him. The uppercut got him too, and here's a big-time right. Silva nearly out on his feet. Andries has him against the ropes.
It's over.
And Bobby Watson says, enough. Dennis Andries has stopped Clarismundo Silva here in round 7.
And I mean to tell you, it was the short little shots in that clinch, George, that started it all. You and I both saw Silva kind of buckle just a hair. And then he came back through 3 shots, but he was still hurt. And then Andries landed one more big one, and that started him on the way. But it was the short little left hooks that came off the clinch that hurt Silva badly. He backed into the ropes. Andries didn't realize he was hurt. He came back. Now watching this clinch. There's a left hand, there's a big right there. Watch the left, right there. Now Silva is hurt. He's against the ropes and ties him up. That was the beginning of the end for Clarismundo Silva. And the end came as Andries again works the right, and then he works an uppercut in here because Silva had been ducking his head. There's the little right in close, there's the little left. That started it. They back into the ropes. Bobby Watson will separate him, get him back out in the middle of the ring. Andries now knows he's got him hurt. Silva tries to throw a couple shots, but the left-right combination hurts him. At this point, Andries thinks he's going down, but Silva's able to hang in and stand up. Manuel Stewart is all over Dennis saying, get back on him, it's not over yet. And then Andries just finishes. Bobby Watson wisely at that point steps in and stops it because Silva was headed to be hurt.
That is a good finisher. Dennis Andries. Let's go up now to ring announcer Wally Jackson.
Our referee, Bobby Watson, stops this contest at 2 minutes, 2 seconds of the 7th round. The winner by TKO and new WBC Continental America's light heavyweight champion, Dennis Andries.
Actually, it's Andries, but never mind. Brazil are not the greatest boxing nation we've ever known, but it was still not a bad performance, was it?
He put up a good performance, but Andries was much too strong for him. And looking at him there, I mean, he's hoping to get a rematch with Harding. And he looked leaden-footed to me. You know, he looked as though he was ready to move up a division and go into the heavyweights, because he certainly carries enough punching power. I mean, he's real. When he hits you with them, you know you're hit. But whether he's quick enough to stay with light heavy, I don't know.
Because he's settled in Detroit and he's become a real hero. I mean, there were 10,000 there. I mean,
people
I always thought that in Detroit, if you wanted to see a fight, you just went on outside a bar somewhere. But obviously
the big
not.
truckers.
That's right. He claims to be 37, but we think he might knock the odd year off. He certainly looks as though he could be heading for Foreman and Co, didn't he?
He's coming back. Making a comeback against Foreman.
Yes. I saw there was a nice quote from one of Foreman's kids the other day saying that when they watch their father fight, it's like watching sumo wrestlers. Very fair, isn't it?
It is, yeah. But I genuinely think that he'll probably get a rematch with Harding, but I think he could be possibly wanting to move up a heavyweight division, yeah.
So we have the fight. Okay.